The future of real estate immigration, Trump's ambitious overhaul of enforcement and border security. Imagine a dramatically fortified U.S.-Mexico border. This vision might soon become a reality with a major federal investment aimed at overhauling immigration regulations and border security measures. This historic move, driven by the latest legislation signed into law, marks a substantial leap toward enhancing the nation's border infrastructure and immigration enforcement. But what's inside this transformative bill? This sweeping package allocates around $170 billion to meet President Trump's border and immigration objectives, aiming for the detention and removal of an unprecedented number of individuals from the country. Earlier this week, Tom Homan, the White House's point person for border affairs, emphasized to reporters that this funding is critical for acquiring additional detention beds. "The more beds we secure, the more we can handle," he stated, highlighting the correlation between increased capacity and improved law enforcement effectiveness. Here's where it gets interesting. Both advocates and critics agree that the true efficacy of this bill will hinge on how efficiently federal agencies manage and channel the newly available resources. Kathleen Bush-Joseph, a policy expert at the Migration Policy Institute, observes that it will undoubtedly enhance immigration enforcement gradually, but not instantly. The challenge lies in effectively putting this financial support to work in managing large-scale deportations. Deep dive into immigration enforcement. The funded immigration telecompanies. The allocation allocates $45 billion for immigration detention facilities and another $30 billion for hiring more ICE officers, as well as covering transportation and maintenance costs at ICE facilities. In response to the overcrowding of these detention centers, the new funds could expand to support more than 116,000 detention beds. Though there's potential to alleviate overcrowding and bolster staffing, Bush-Joseph warns about the broader implications, such as potentially expanding the detention policy itself. After determining migrants' eligibility for removal, the U.S. has shifted policy away from catch and release, insisting on greater detention capacity to manage those awaiting court hearings. Considerations about border security are also highlighted in the bill's provisions, including $46.5 billion designated to complete the border wall and additional funding for customs and border protection facilities, and broader border security initiatives. And here's the debate. Some question the need for increased spending on border security, since southern border crossings have dropped significantly in recent years. However, Andrew Arthur, of the Center for Immigration Studies, argues that investing in border infrastructure before another potential surge in crossings is wiser than waiting until it becomes a crisis. But here's a key point for discussion. Republicans have focused on making the immigration process costlier by introducing new or increased fees. For instance, the beginning fee for asylum applications has undergone significant adjustment, from $1,000 to $100 in the final bill, allowing it to meet procedural requirements in Congress. While it's expected to cover a portion of administrative expenses, some argue it's a fair charge. However, others believe it imposes an unfair financial burden on many who seek to navigate the U.S. immigration system. As part of the bill, changes also affect health and safety net programs, tightening eligibility to public benefits such as Medicare and SNAP for certain immigrants. This revision limits benefits for all but a few groups, like green card holders who have completed the 5-year wait period. Notably, the revised child tax credit rules might deny significant financial help for children with 2 undocumented parents. Finally, addressing the backlog of immigration cases requires substantial resources. The bill proposes significant funding to hire additional judges to address an ever-growing case docket, though some suggest even more judges would help clear the current backlog more efficiently. So, what do you think? Does the expansive approach to immigration enforcement and border security feel like a necessary step forward or an overreach? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.